Once again, we're here with I almost called you Appletreeman, yeah,
yes.
Andrew.
Yeah.
And you were just saying this is a family tree you've got here.
Yeah. This is something that I decided to do a couple of years back. This is actually a rootstock. It's probably MM106, judging by the size of it.
It's very thick. Yeah.
Right? So it's one big rootstock. There was nothing to stop it growing.
Right.
Okay. Doesn't produce good apples. The rootstocks do not produce good apples. They're little round green hard things. Never ripen. Okay. So what I decided to do is to form this shape, right? Lots and lots of branches. Then progressively, I'm cutting off the branches and I'm grafting.
Yeah.
So what I'm making here is a family tree of as many varieties as I can get on it. I think there's a record of about 100 and something down.
Oh wow.
Right? So I'm working my way up to it. I got about 27 varieties on here so far. Okay. Just as an example, I got a Corpondu plat here. Not necessarily Scottish varieties. Because Corpondu is a very, very late variety. Right? And quite vigorous, so I wanted to try and get pollination from some of these other varieties onto this one. This will eventually start to flower. Corpondu plat on this one. I got a Bramley which I did this spring here. There's a Bramley coming there. Bramley being a triploid, it needs lots of other varieties to cross-pollinate with it. And it should get that from these other varieties. Down here I got White Mo Rose, Scottish variety. Laxton's Fortune. Good variety for Scotland, Laxton's Fortune.
Oh, right, great.
There's good reports of it, or Fortune as it's otherwise known. Just keep working my way around.
It's important to keep these labelled, isn't it?
Pomona, I have got it written down as well. Monarch, a good late cooker. It's a good example at Blair Logie of this one. This one doesn't seem to have taken, but the Bloody Ploughman has on this side.
Excellent.
Hopefully when this all starts to fruit, I can see all the different varieties on it very, very easily.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see when that happens.
At the moment, you can barely distinguish. King of the Pippins here.
Yeah.
An old Victorian variety. You see it in old gardens quite a bit. But look how vigorous that one is. You know. Often with family trees, sometimes you've got to curtail the growth of some varieties to allow the others to come on. And that's the same. If you're growing a fan-shaped tree or any family tree that you buy, you must be able to control the growth of the more vigorous one. For example, if you've got a Bramley and a Discovery together, you would need to control the Bramley, otherwise it would take over. And there's ways you can do that. And quite often I teach that on my courses as well. There's another one here just coming. Grenadier might come yet. This is a very funny season.
Yeah, it's quite interesting the way you've
It was such a cold spring that the grafts have started to grow very, very late in the season, and some of them are still starting to open up now, just starting to bud up. Yeah.
And we were speaking earlier on about, you were telling me about in Scotland you really need early varieties, early ripening varieties, and why is that? What's the reason for that?
Early varieties is very good. It's not early flowering, it's early fruiting that's the most important thing. Because we just don't have the sunlight in October, November to ripen our fruit. So if you want a good eater, it's got to be sweet, it's got to be ripe. And so you really want something that's going to ripen in September at the latest, late September at the latest. Fortune just about comes into that. Laxton's superb. Grenadier's a cooker that ripens early. You see, the Bloody Ploughman you'll get in September as well. So I could go on. Our best varieties, and most of our Scottish varieties, are actually early. If you're looking for that crisp, hard apple that you get in the supermarket, you probably won't get it produced in Scotland, unless you're in a good position on the East Coast, wall garden, then you'll get the best fruit. Yeah. So you really need to be going for these early varieties.
Yeah. Great.
To get a guarantee. And also, if you've got a range of varieties, and that's one advantage of growing things as cordons, grow them as single stems at an angle, then you're more likely to get something to ripen. If you've got more and more varieties that cross-pollinate each other as well. So that's a good way of growing your fruit. So if you've only got a small garden, grow things as cordons. But a big garden, by all means, grow a big bush tree like this.
You should maybe have a wee look at the cordons just so that people can have an idea of what that is.
Yeah.
Just for example, this one here, is it? Yeah.
These are a bit unusual because they're upright cordons in effect.
Okay.
But I'm not really growing these for fruit. I'm growing them because I want propagation material.
Yep.
So it's a slightly different thing here. But we have the sweet woodruff down the bottom there, which is absolutely fantastic in flower early on in the season. So that's
Nice
good.
and white.
Yeah, a good use of ground cover and permaculture as well. You're using something on the ground as well, and that's really good in Maybole and makes a lovely drink flavour. Yeah. So this more or less, a cordon generally would be at an angle. It slows down the growth. Having the muck right, you see you get too much growth. And if you want to grow good fruit, you want to slightly bend the branches down, the main stem down, and then you'll slow down the growth, you'll get more fruit. Yeah. But these are historic varieties. We've got Tara, Glams, Cambersneath and Pippin. Arbor Foslin here. This is Arbor Foslin's coming on.
You were saying you quite like that one?
Yeah, it's a beautiful apple. Lovely little crinkly curled up leaves on them. Yeah, and look how prolific this little one is. It's only been in here a few years.
Yeah.
And I keep smashing these back. I prune them really, really hard. I'm not doing them a lot of favours. I probably need to feed these. I'll put some organic mulch on them very, very soon. Yeah, Cambersneath and Pippin, very good variety, clean fruit as well. Comes from the Clyde Valley. Healthy leaves, it always seems to be healthy. Tara Glams, vigorous tree, always this deep green colour.
Yeah.
Lovely,
that's interesting.
deep green tree. Good solid cooker, this one, very, very good to the juice. Oh, and I got some fruit. Woo!
They're pretty big already.
Yeah, fantastic. I've got some fruit coming on those. Yeah.
We're here in Perth, and I mean the climate here, you're saying the climate's different here to say Glasgow, the west coast, or maybe even Edinburgh and Dundee, so it's very kind of climate specific in terms of what trees might work. Or
the biggest problem, the biggest difference between the east and the west is the amount of moisture. And because you've got a lot of moisture, you've got a lot of fungi in there. A lot of fungi, spores. So you will get a lot of scab. Whereas we get some. Our most susceptible varieties will be very susceptible with you. We can sometimes get away with it here. So these varieties, you wouldn't need to spray, you wouldn't need to put anything on them. They do very well. Jane's Grieve can get scab quite badly, but it's such a fantastic producer. You've got to be prepared sometimes. If a tree doesn't make it, pull it out, plant another one. You know, if it's got canker in it, something in it, for £16,
don't get too
for an apple
precious.
tree, £13.50, you can plant another tree. So if there is a problem with disease, then don't hang on to it forever. You know, for a few pence you can buy another one, and a couple of years you're starting to get fruit with it. It doesn't take long to start getting fruit.
So
but this is a really, really good way if you want to get a nice, bright, red, ripe, sweet eaters. Cordons is the way to do it, definitely. And if you've got a small garden, this is the way to do fruit, definitely.
Well, that's great, and we don't want to go too much into it. Andrew teaches and has, I'm guessing, courses and things like that.
Yeah. I do a lot of,
and you've got your website, so if you want to, you can get more information there, and obviously you can see how passionate Andrew is about this.
I could go on all afternoon.
We've been talking. He's taught me so much. I've been here about an hour or so, or an hour and a half. As I was saying, I feel like I've learned like about 100 things just speaking to him, so it's great. Great to meet you, and hope to come back soon and get some trees off.
Anybody's welcome to come and visit us. Just catch us in. That's the difficult thing, catching us at home.
And it's plantsandapples.co.uk, Appletreeman on YouTube as well. Yeah. Great stuff. So great. Speak to you later, Andrew.
Okay.